Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. There are 981 inmates in the Sarasota County Jail today. There's inmates in there for all different reasons. There's people in there for driving with license suspended, DUI, petty theft. We also have inmates in jail for aggravated battery, sexual battery, sex offenses against children, kidnapping, carjacking, and drug trafficking. There's one portion of the inmate population, however, that causes our staff the most work. There's one group of inmates that create the biggest disruption to jail operations. Those are weekender inmates. Weekender inmates are people that are sentenced to the jail for anywhere from 30 to 60 days, usually for low-level minor offenses, nonviolent offenses. Again, DUI, driving license suspended, petty theft, disorderly conduct. These are people that would be sentenced for 30 to 60 days, but when they appear before the judge, they tell the judge they have some sort of hardship that would prevent them from doing straight time in jail. Maybe they're a single parent, maybe they're the sole provider to their family. So the judge will give them the privilege, allowing them to serve their weekends in jail. So depending on their sentence, they could serve anywhere from 15 to 30 weekends in jail. The routine for weekends in jail involves the person showing up to the front desk at the jail at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night. The desk officer confirming their sentence with booking, a corrections deputy coming out to the lobby, searching the weekender, bringing them back to the jail, fingerprinting them, photographing them, strip searching them, showering, giving them clean uniform, a mattress, and clean bedding, and bringing them up to a cell where he's going to lay around for the next 3 days. He's seen by a nurse twice a day, and he gets 3 meals a day. If he's on medication, it's supplied to him because they're not allowed to bring their medication into the jail. At Sunday, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the process is reversed. Now it seems like a lot of work for one person to do weekends. Now picture this, doing this 40 times. At our height, we'd have 40 people showing up for weekends at the jail at 8 o'clock on a Friday night. That doesn't include the people coming in that are normally arrested on a Friday night, either by the city police or by our own agency, possibly another 40 people. So you can see the amount of work and the burden this would cause. In October of 2010, the Sheriff's Office worked with county leaders and the Criminal Justice Commission to create an initiative that would serve several goals. Reduce the jail population, reduce the taxpayer's burden, corrections cost of the taxpayer, and offer a sentencing alternative for low-level offenders. Thus became the Sentenced Offenders Work Program. The program is available 7 days a week, so people that are sentenced to the program could serve their time conveniently so that they're still able to keep their jobs and keep their families and homes intact. People show up to the lobby at 7:30 in the morning, they're loaded onto a van, and they're taken to work sites in groups of 10. They do park cleanup, beach cleanup, graffiti eradication. They're supervised by a civilian employee. Since the program started in October of 2010, there have been 588 people sentenced to the program. 310 of them have successfully completed the program. 205 have been non-compliant, either they stopped showing up. If that's the case, they're brought back before the judge and usually sentenced to straight time. And 34 have been removed or suspended due to medical reasons. Some kind of medical reason developed that they're unable to do the work. The cost savings to the county has been $396,347.87. That's just for 2012, which means that if a county employee had to do the work that the sentenced offenders are doing, that's what it would cost the county. If it was contracted out, the outside labor, it would cost $84,316.24. Usually there's not much good that comes from the inmates of the jail, but here's an example of how their work in the Sentenced Offenders Work Program benefits the community and also helps the person themselves. At this time, I have 2 to 3 minutes for questions.
Do they do things like, I think I've seen them picking up trash on the streets?
Correct. They wear bright, glow-in-the-dark vests that say SOWP on them, and they pick up trash along the streets, they clean out parking garages. They don't do any heavy labor like the road gang used to. The road gang used to dig ditches and chop down trees. They're all just menial labor. Yes.
So they're not doing the weekender thing anymore? They switched it for this?
There are some times, and the sheriff is fighting this with the judges a little bit, there are some situations where people they're not eligible for the offenders work program. Obviously, these are on low-level misdemeanors. Sometimes, for some reason, a judge will sentence somebody, say somebody who's committed a battery, or maybe has a sex offense in their past, to the offenders work program, and we can't take them. Sometimes the offenders work program works near school property, so obviously we won't want somebody who was a sex offender or is a sex offender out in that area. So the judges are, some cases, still sentencing people to weekends. As of last week, we had 3 people doing weekends. And also, too, sometimes they'll sentence an older person or they feel might not be able to do the work of the offenders work program, so they'll sentence them to jail. But the sheriff is trying to fight that either they come to jail straight time or they go to program. There's no middle ground. Yes, Mary?
Did you say they're supervised by a civilian?
Correct.
How is that?
Again, these are people, low-level offenders. They show up, they come from their home at 7:30 in the morning. They meet in the lobby, she takes roll call, puts them out in the van, and she goes to a work site that's been assigned to her by a county employee. At the end of the day, they have to bring their lunch with them. At the end of the day, she drives them back to the jail, and they're picked up, or they go home from there. So there isn't any violent people. If anybody, for some reason, would give the civilian a hard time saying, I'm not doing this, I'm tired, I'm going home, just let them go home. And then we'll just send a letter to the judge saying they're not compliant with the court order, and the judge will find them in contempt of court. If anything really got to be a problem, which hasn't happened, the civilian has a radio, she can contact communication, and send a deputy to the area. Yes, Peter?
What's the average number of days that people have to do?
Usually it's anywhere from 30 to 60 days.
Okay. And a day is like 7:30 till 5:30?
7:30 to 3. Yes, Rita? Not that you don't already know all this stuff already.
Is this only for men?
No, it's men and women. It's open to everyone.
Has anybody studied the cost savings to the county if they have for the work that they do? Instead of paying 5 guys to watch them dig a ditch, they've got these guys doing something?
Correct.
That's the old, not digging a ditch, but metaphorically speaking, the county,
Right. Like recently, we've had a problem with the mowing, the medians. The work crew has been going out and picking up trash before the workers go out and mow. So it's been a savings to the county.
there you go.
Well, I hope I enlightened you a little bit about the Sheriff's Offenders Work Program. Mr. Toastmaster.